did I tell you I'm a clairvoyant? I
Yes,
work
a
with
little
energy.
bit, a little bit. Yeah,
So,
energy. Yeah, yeah.
so he actually met me in the energy. And, but the way it works, they said, is for us first to be open, because all the energy in spiritual side, or my teacher says it another way, they are shy to approach us because they want us to be the first one to initiate the invitation, so to speak. Like meaning, like you need to say, God, please show me some grace or show me some help. So I literally, right, like they say when the student is ready, teacher will appear. Have you heard about those sayings?
No, I don't think so.
So I rolled down the window in my car. It says, Universe, I'm ready. I sent out my invite. So my teacher approached in energy, actually in the internet, like, like there's something popped up and like numbers, right? Like so. And so I met him in person too. I met him, and so he said there is like, how we think paranormal, like, we get spooked out, right? So I was getting spooked out that time because when you open a portal, right, both good and bad comes.
Yeah, of course.
Doesn't matter, right. So I didn't know how to navigate that space. So I got like a little scared. I was like so scared. I was on call in New Bedford. There was a hospital I used to work. I used to work as a hospitalist.
Oh, really?
First and third week of the month.
Oh, wow.
So I'll go in Friday and get out Monday. And by working non-stop, midnight of Sunday, the hours split. So they considered 32 hours, 130. So 64 hours straight I'll work, but one would be for 1 week, the other one would be 1 week. So I was done and I was able to get benefits because it's 32 hours minimum to be full time. Right. So I had benefits. So whole week I could do.
You were working 32 straight hours in the hospital.
No, 64 straight hours.
How do you do that?
So I go in Friday morning. I get out Monday evening.
Yeah, but like, how does your body handle? You don't go to sleep at any time? Like,
that's what our teacher teaches us, how to be beyond sleep. There are doctors who can work 7 days on, 7 days off.
Without going home.
Have you not seen Grey's Anatomy and stuff?
I don't watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, so because like sometimes you'll go to your call room for 1 hour, there will be a helicopter coming. I worked like that in Boston Medical Center, 36 hours. See, all the doctors, we push our body.
That's where my father went to rehab, was Dr. Boston Medical after his accident.
My residency I did in 2001. I studied 1998, 99, 2000. 2000 I left for Mass General.
Oh, so
I was in Mass General 2001, and then 2002 I left for Brigham and Women's, and 2003. But simultaneously, I also held the job in New Bedford on the weekend.
Oh.
So like but it was not. So the 2002, it was weekday job.
Right.
The weekend, so I could still do my fellowship and do the weekend job. So like it was a little different. But I didn't do 64 hours. When I did weekend, I would do probably 48 hours, but then sometimes 24. But toward 2003, when my fellowship finished, I took the 64-hour straight job. It became a full-time job. Before that, it was like a temporary.
Yep.
And then they gave me, because my youngest one, I was pregnant by 2002, so I needed benefits.
Those are your boys there? Yeah. So they're all, what?
15, 19, 18.
Oh, well, so quick.
So the reason I'm bringing it up is like when that portal opened, see people transition and pass away in hospitals, and they'll come and hang out with me because they used to be.
Yeah.
And I could feel their fear. They'll be very, very afraid to leave, and they know I worked on them.
Right.
And I didn't know how, and I know as a mother I need to be there for them, but I also didn't have the tools because sometimes some people will be poking me. So like it would be very, very scary for me.
Right.
And so I would be very freaked out to even sleep.
Yeah.
So one night it got so out of hand, I got overwhelmed and I cried. And I said, I am so overwhelmed, I need help.
Yeah.
So I sobbed and I sent out all the divine beings, please help me.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, her name is Virginia Gonzalez. She was a rehab director. See, there are a lot of people with clairvoyance. We work in the hospital together. So it's easy for us to talk. Many surgeons, they pray before the surgery. Spirituality is built into our hospitals. Like if I go and talk, actually I was talking to a psychiatrist. I said, I wear this so I can ward off bad energy. He says, can I have one? I was telling him, I'm shrinking the shrink. So when
Right.
I sent out that night, they were not even near me. My friend Virginia Gonzalez, she says in energy she could see me begging, and she admonished that spirit to leave me. And then there was another girl, her name is Ellen. She was a occupational therapist. She said she lit a candle for me. So like people could see me praying and they responded. So that's when it hit me. When we send out prayers, it's not necessarily to a higher being. We
Right.
are sending out the equal too.
Right. Right.
So it's a teamwork, even in energy. So my teacher, the way he said it is, good and bad come together. Just like you say, hey, cut the crap out. You can say the same thing to that energy. You say, I am not going to put up with it. And he gave me that word. He says, when you combine it as unwholesome behavior, just like when you respond when somebody is disrespectful to you and to call you FB,
Yeah.
BATCH.
Yeah.
So he says you can do the same thing. He says, I refuse to accept that. You need to leave. And they will leave. So he gave me the power. So he told me, use unwholesome and it will group everything, any entity outside. And then he says, you will have power. And then my new teacher, in addition, taught me how to have a powerful living. And he says, I give you a book called Door to Enlightenment. You always open the door and walk through the door, and I'll take care of it. And he actually gave me this walk the talk. So he gave me this. He says, as long you have this, nobody can reach it. And he says, you will always be under me as a bubble. He made me feel like I'm in a kangaroo pouch.
Yeah.
So he's the big kangaroo. I'm in his pouch. I know.
Sticking your head out.
He says we are in that oneness space. He says nobody reaches you. They need to go through me. So the way Chinese or Zen Buddhism, they say is we are all standing on a shoulder of a giant. See, we evolve, right? The person who brought us here is my father, right?
Right,
like
right.
same thing with divine wisdom too. We are standing in somebody's experience,
Right.
right? So we are not repeating that mistake. So you could see that. Does this make sense?
Yeah, definitely.